Hey guys, so I'm out here in my garden today and I wanted to do a quick garden update for you guys. Today is April 8th, the day before Easter, and a lot has changed since the weather has started to warm up and we're preparing for the garden season. So I've already got some things that I have direct sown and others that I have transplanted out that I started as seedlings in my garage. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn you guys around and show you what that looks like. In addition to those seedlings that are new in the garden, we've also got our cattle panel trellises up, which are new. And we've got a little puppy over there. His name is Eli. So lots of new things here on the Dreamy Acres channel. So let's dig in and start looking at what's new here. Hello, Eli. So here's a look at the cattle panel trellises. I know it's hard to see what they look like here. So this is the view from our deck, and you can see that they are attached to the tops of the raised beds here, and they go across. And there's about 4 feet in between the farthest beds and 3 in the closest. And we got the cattle panels from Tractor Supply. They are the 16-foot long cattle panels, and they're attached to 5-foot T-posts that I drove into the raised beds as far as they would go. So the first things that went into the ground here were some snow peas and snap peas. These ones over here are our snap peas. I don't know what variety they are off the top of my head. Maybe like the sugar snap, some sort of sugar snap. And they are just starting to come up this week, and they were planted several weeks ago, but you can see they're starting to come up really thick, which is great. And then I've got Sugar Ann planted at the bottom of each of these trellises. I don't think you can see any on this side, but over here we've got several little green guys poking up here, and they're gonna climb up that trellis, which is gonna be awesome. See, these are the Sugar Ann snap peas. And then just behind me, I've got all of my brassicas. So I've got Robber cauliflower here, Melody, which is a broccoli, and these guys are really tiny still, really tiny. Maybe they were started on the 4th of March. We've got Snowball cauliflower, BC 1611 broccolini, Waltham broccoli, DiCicco broccoli, and then this is a Catskill Brussels sprout. Catskill Brussels sprout. And then over in this bed over here, I have snow peas, which are just barely starting to emerge. These are a little bit farther behind than the other bed because this bed gets a little bit more shade and is a little bit chillier. And there are Sugar Ann snap peas along this edge as well, but they have not yet come up. And then just behind me here, I have a lot more going on. So I've got pak choi, which was sown on February 27th. You can see there's a lot going on here. Then I've got little cilantro seedlings here. They got a little bit of frost damage. Let's see if I can get you to focus. Just a little bit. It's not terrible though. Then I've got some arugula and then some spinach. I think this is the Big Ruffles variety. And then I have the rest of my brassicas over here. These are the Groninger Brussels sprouts. And I planted some cherry radishes and some cilantro in between them so the space isn't going to waste. And then up in the food forest, not much is going on except for the rhubarb is coming back strong. You can see in here, it looks really thick stalks compared to last year. I started these from seed last year. I've also got some chamomile coming back, which looks like that is so far the only one that's coming back. Everything else here is still dormant. We've got raspberries just barely starting to break dormancy here. There's a couple coming up. I don't know what variety these are. I lost the tag. There are 3 different varieties here though, 1, 2, and 3. And then the strawberries are still looking good here. I'm gonna blow the leaves out of here soon once we're stopping dipping into the 30s overnight, but currently we are still freezing. And that's how it's looking over here. Now, I think I'm gonna go pop into the garage and show you what the seedlings look like. All right, so welcome to the 5-Star Seed Hotel. We've got a lot going on over here. We've got our San Marzano and Roma tomatoes started over here. You can see they're just barely starting to come up. I did apparently have a lot of weed seed in my compost that I started these seeds in. Over here, I've got a lot of different flowers. I've got a bok choy here, calendula. I don't recall, I think that's a bunching onion or several different things actually. It's a thyme, marjoram, and something else. I've got lettuce seed in here. I think this is still lettuce here as well. Oh, here. This is some sort of bok choy or brassica. Then I've got a whole bunch of different zinnias. This is a State Fair mix. I've got a Scabiosa zinnia mix there. A Forecast mix in there. And then there's a couple of other varieties in here. Let's see. This is a Mexican sour gherkin. Other zinnias are over here. I've got Oklahoma whites, Cinderella peach, cilantro in the back over there. And then these are all 3 different types of basil. I've got a Genovese, a lettuce leaf, and a lemon basil, I believe. And then down here, pull this guy out. I've got a whole bunch of different things again. So I'll try to do it justice without dropping them. I've got eggplants back here, cilantro, bunching onions, chamomile, chives, which are just barely popping up, beets, no, those are beets. Then I've got African daisies, Shasta daisies. Actually, I think this is a Shasta daisy, an African daisy, spinach in the back there, another bok choy, bunching onions, doing a terrible job, lettuce, and parsley in the back there. Then for this tray, this one is probably my biggest disappointment at this point. These are all my peppers and they look terrible. You can see there's like 1 out of this whole guy. They look terrible. And then I've got a whole bunch of celery, bunching onions, which also look terrible, and then snapdragons, which look okay. And then down here, I've got all of my other fun varieties of tomatoes, which have not yet started coming up. They're still on the heat mat. And then this whole tray is full of onions and shallots, which have not come up yet either. So thanks for coming along and taking a look at what's new in the garden and taking a look at my seedling hotel here in our garage. I hope that you guys stick around and check out what's yet to come in the next couple of weeks as we start planting out the rest of these seedlings. And stay tuned because I'm going to be having 2 series here on the channel. One will be covering my backyard garden, which I've been putting in those raised beds, but I'm also going to be having a community garden plot this year, which will be new for me. And I thought that would be a great way to start with a new space that I'm not used to growing in from the bottom up, which, you know, I'm very fortunate to have the garden space that I do have in my backyard, but some people might not, and I think it would be a great opportunity to show you guys what it looks like to start from ground zero and learn a new area, a new plot, and what that brings with the new season. So stick around if you're interested in either of those, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.